My name is Chaplain John Rollison, and this video is a follow-up to a video that I posted on YouTube a few months ago about Air Force chaplaincy requirements. My goal for this video is to answer the three most asked questions in response to the previous video. Received a lot of great comments and questions. Many of them were emailed to me, but there were three of them that I received much more than any of the others, and so I thought it would be appropriate to make a video doing my best to answer those questions. Before I get into it, I wanted to explain the reason that I even made the first video. A good friend of mine is a chaplain in the Army, and he's teaching a class about about chaplaincy at a local Bible college to him, and he asked several chaplains, including myself, to do a short video answering certain questions about military chaplaincy. And so I made that video. Was happy to do that because I like being in the Air Force a lot, and I really like being a chaplain and serving the Lord in this ministry. But when I was done with the video, I wasn't sure how to get it to him. I'm not a tech savvy person at all. And so I emailed him and said, hey, how can I get this video to you? It's too big to email, it's too big to text. And he replied and said, please upload it onto YouTube and just send me the link. And so I was happy to do that, and then I forgot about it. But then I kept getting notifications that I was getting comments on the video, and most of my answers was always to the questions was please email me, and then I put my email address in there, and so I had a lot of great correspondence with people over email, received a lot of great questions, and was encouraged by how many people actually watched the video and reached out with the questions. I know the Air Force recruiters, chaplain recruiters, are extremely busy, and so I'm happy to be able to help them out whenever I get a chance. So here we go. Here are the most asked questions from the previous video. And number one is about the endorsement process. Now I'm going to speak Christian specific, but every world religion, we have chaplains represented, Muslim chaplains, Jewish chaplains, Buddhist chaplains. I'm going to speak Christian specific, but I imagine the process will be very similar for the other faith groups as well. For Christians, whatever your denomination is, your denomination endorses you. Basically, it's your denomination saying it's okay with them that you represent them as a chaplain in the military, whatever the branch is. There's a Department of Defense form that has to be completed by your denomination and sent in. But before you get there, it's quite a process. Before you can even seek endorsement, you have to have the right education, the bachelor's degree, and then the Master of Divinity. You usually have to be ordained by your local church, and then you can seek endorsement from your denomination. To speak specifically about my denomination, I am Baptist, specifically Southern Baptist, and the Southern Baptists endorsed through their North American Mission Board. So I contacted the North American Mission Board. They have a division as part of the mission board that's for chaplains, and not just military chaplains, but prison chaplains and hospital chaplains and volunteer chaplains. There are many different types of chaplain. So I contacted their office. They put me with the person that was in charge of federal chaplaincy, and they explained the process to me. They sent me the package, and I completed everything that needed to be completed. There were a lot of references. There was quite a bit to it. Because they want to make sure that the person that's representing them as a chaplain follows along with their beliefs. So I completed that, sent it back to them. For Southern Baptist, they have a board that meets a couple times a year. The next time the board met, they reviewed my package, they approved it, and then they sent that Department of Defense form that I was telling you about into the Air Force, and then I was able to become a chaplain. Now that's a very simplified way of explaining the process, but in a nutshell, that's how it works. So the main thing to remember is it's not something that's done at your local church. It's something that is done at the denomination level. Now, a follow-up question to that is, what if I'm non-denominational? Maybe I'm Bible church, or maybe I'm independent Baptist, or maybe I grew up as a military brat and have always attended chapels my entire life. I'm not part of any denomination, and that's a legitimate question. And there are a lot of non-denominational churches out there, and the answer is there are ministries. Organizations that are endorsing bodies that are not part of denominations, and they will endorse you. Now, there's usually a small fee, and the reason for that is, again, because they're not a denomination, so they don't have any tithes or offerings coming in from churches. And so they ask the chaplains that they endorse, endorse to send just a small fee monthly or annually to them just to cover their costs. They're all above board, and if you're ready to go, and if you're at that point, if you contact a chaplain recruiter, they can let you know the endorsing ministries that are out there, the agencies that will do that. They'll be happy to send you a link or a list and let you know how you can get endorsed. They're very helpful, but like I said, they're busy, so that's why I'm happy to make this video to try and help out as I can. But I always encourage people, I was going to say it at the end, but I'll go ahead and say it now. Go right to the source for any information, because there's a lot of people that want to be helpful, but unfortunately they just don't know what they're talking about, and they'll give you bad information. Not that they're trying to tell you the wrong thing, it's just that they don't know. And the requirements and different things to become a chaplain change, but when you talk to a recruiter, specifically a chaplain recruiter or an officer accessions recruiter, they always have the most current and correct information. So they can let you know about the list of endorsers. Now the next question that I received, and this is probably the one that I received the most, but I wanted to explain the endorsement process first before I get into this next one, is about the ministry experience. Is the 2 years ministry experience required after the MDiv? And the answer says yes. The answer is yes. The Department of Defense likes chaplains to have a minimum of 2 years experience after they complete their Master of Divinity. However, if you're part of a denomination that doesn't require that, I'd mentioned the endorsement before, your endorser may not require that. Say you pastored a church, for instance, the entire time you were in seminary, and you pastored a church for 3-4 years, maybe even before you went into seminary. If you have a good amount of pastoral experience before and during seminary, they could endorse you as a chaplain and write a letter stating, our denomination does not require this. We're okay with this person being a chaplain without the 2 years experience. And the military may or may not accept that. That's up to the branch, and it's probably, I would imagine, again, I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine that's a case-by-case basis. I know in the past, I have an Army chaplain friend that was able to get endorsed and accepted into active duty Army without 2 years experience post MDiv. So again, it's a case-by-case basis, but it's not only the military requirements, it's also your endorser. Your endorser may not do that. They may say, no, we absolutely want you to have this experience post MDiv, and we're not going to endorse you as a chaplain unless you have it. So there's the nomination requirements and then the military requirements. And so if you have your heart set on coming in as quickly as possible, you need to make sure that that's okay with your endorser. So talk to them, talk to the people that are the military endorsers at your denomination, find out what their requirements are, and then you'll know for sure. I want to take a few moments and just speak from my heart, just from personal experience, and now we're in the area of Pastor John's opinion as opposed to any requirements or anything. And I would simply say this. The more time you have at a church in civilian ministry experience, the better chaplain you will be. It will help you in so many ways. And I understand you're young, you want to get out there as soon as possible, or maybe you feel like you're getting older and so you want to quickly get in before you get too old, maybe you're getting close to the cutoff age. But I promise you, the more time you can spend on a church staff, the better. Now, let me answer a follow-up question since I just said the word church staff. A follow-up to the ministry experience question is, does it have to be senior pastor only? I've been a youth pastor for 10 years. Will that count? And the answer is yes. Any position that you have on church staff will count as church experience. It's great if it can be senior pastor, associate pastor, executive pastor, something like that, but it doesn't have to be. If you're a minister of education, a youth pastor, a children's minister, I even know one chaplain that's a great Navy chaplain. He was a music minister for many years before going into the chaplaincy ministry. As long as you have the right education and church experience, that will count for you to enter into the military. The only area where it gets tricky, again, is pre-MDiv or post-MDiv. But the more you have, the better chaplain you will be, in my humble opinion. And then the third question that I received the most was about the fitness test. As a matter of fact, so many people ask me, how has the fitness test changed, that I thought maybe I was missing something. The Air Force fitness test actually hasn't changed since 2011 as far as the physical requirements. One thing that has changed this year is that they no longer, a part of the test used to be they would measure your waist, and you needed to be 35 inches or less than that or thinner than that. I've always been very thin, so I never had a problem being less than 35 inches with my waist. Now, due to COVID-19, they're not doing that, and my understanding is they're also not weighing people. The other components of the test are still there, which is there's a 1.5 mile run that you have to do in a certain amount of time, and then push-ups and sit-ups. They give you a minute each for the push-ups and sit-ups, and you have to do a certain amount of push-ups and sit-ups within this minute that they give you. And it's by age. There's 29 and younger, and then there's 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and so on. You see how that works. I'm 43 now, so now I'm in the 40 to 49 bracket. So I would encourage you, they're easy to find. They're out there on the internet. Just go to Google or whatever search engine you prefer if you're curious about this, and just put in Air Force fitness requirements, and the chart will come up and you can look at it. Say you're 25 years old, you can look at the anybody under 30 category and find out how fast you need to do the run, how fast or how many push-ups and how many sit-ups that you need to do in that 1 minute time frame. And then you can be prepared way before you get there. And I would encourage you, make physical fitness a part of your life. Even if you're not a chaplain yet or in the military and you want to come in, you want to be a chaplain, go ahead and start getting ready now. Because once you make it a part of your life, once you get in, it'll be just that easy. Don't wait until a few months or a few weeks before the test and focus on it then. Make it a part of your daily life. Get out there and run, do these push-ups and sit-ups, go to the gym, whatever it is you'd like to do, because it's easier when you're younger, but the older you get, if you stay in, the older you get, the more difficult it gets as well. And so it's good to make it just a part of your daily life. So those are the 3 questions that I received the most. If you have any follow-up questions, you'd like to talk to me about anything, I'll put my email in the comments, and I'd be happy to email back and forth with you. If you send me an email, I'll put my phone number in there. If you want to talk to me, I'll be happy to talk with you about the requirements to be a military chaplain. And if I can help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to do another video in a couple weeks about Air Force chaplain candidate requirements. So if you're interested in that, keep a lookout for that. God bless you.